Welcome to today's vlog. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And that doesn't work very well, does it? But anyways, thought I'd have fun with that. Welcome to today's vlog. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I have lots of great content coming up. Today I just wanted to share with you what's happening on my fry rack. So let's get at it. I'm Bobby G. Let's talk. All right, guys, you can see that today's water change day, which is not unlike most days. Water change days around here are 4 or 5 days a week. So that's not all that exciting. If you find water changes exciting, come on over and give me a hand. Anyway, so you can see I've got my tanks drained down to 50%. And you'll see here the most important news of today is I've emptied these tanks and it's graduation day. So these tanks were holding some fish down here, which I'm going to show you in a second. And they were, they were getting too large and too many of them to stay in a 10-gallon tank. And so I've moved them down here. Now in this tank here, this is a 75-gallon tank that I resealed about a month ago, and I hadn't put it into use yet. I've cut some 5/16 glass and siliconed it in to divide the tank up into 3, so I've got 3 25-gallon sections. That's what makes best use of this space, and the same will likely happen over here because what I've got going on here is a 40-gallon and a 20-gallon. The 20-gallon really shouldn't be sitting here because it's sitting over the edge of the support. And so, I mean, even at that, that's 60 gallons at most. And I could better get a 75-gallon tank in there and be able to divide things up like I've done over here. Anyways, as I was saying, these are my Placidochromis J-Lo reefs, and they're growing really well. Both this tank and this tank are about 9 or 10 weeks old. And the juvies in here would be about 1.25 inches at their largest, and some of the small ones are, maybe, I guess, 1 inch. So right away when I moved these guys over here, I could just see they were happier. It's easier to manage the water quality. I mean, they could have stayed up there, but it's just harder to manage the water quality and stay on top of things. So they're liking being in here. And over here, I have my Elenicara Kobus and my Otopharynx lithobates sulfur headline. So they're similar size to the JLOs. They might be a tiny bit smaller, but they're doing really good. Both those lines look good. The Kobus, the barring is really nice and well defined and straight. And so things are looking good for these guys. What am I going to do with this center section? I'm going to fill it with water, of course. But these Aziris, Copedochromis Aziris, Mabenji Island actually, they're in need of moving also because they're close to 1.5 inches. And there's about 40 or more in there, so 10 gallons. And I can tell, if I wait a week to do water changes, it was this tank, and this tank that the water, you could see the water getting a yellow tinge to it. So, I mean, that's an obvious cue that maybe it's time to graduate them to a bigger tank. Yeah, so anyways, these guys are going to move down here, as I was saying, and that'll happen as soon as I stop rolling the camera. And other than that, if you are new to my channel, I mean, if you follow my channel, thank you very much for your support. But if you're new to my channel, just to show you a little glimpse of what else is down here, you know, I've got a fairly extensive fish room here, and it is always growing. One day it's going to stop growing, but I do have a tank for along this wall, 125 gallon, but that's for future development. So, forgot to flip the screen back up. That's all right though. So thank you for watching. I hope you've you've enjoyed the video. If you're new to my channel, again, please subscribe. It lets me know that my efforts are paying off, because my goal is to help you succeed at this hobby. Please, if you have any comments, leave them down in the comment section below. I'm always open to any questions. I mean, if you don't know the answer to the question, it's not a stupid question. I started at 0 in this hobby, and I know there's a lot of people that also start at 0, and there's a ton to learn, and I'm hoping that I can help you learn to be successful, whether you have one tank or multiple tanks. So, as always, feed your passion, take the plunge.